What's going on, guys? My name's Jackson Clark, and this is the first episode of The Morning Woodsman. Today we're interviewing Josh Dugan, ex-NRL star bad boy, talking about everything footy, fishing and hunting, and all blokey shit related. So if you like that stuff, grab a beer, sit back, relax, join us in the banter, and let's get it started. Let's go.
Right, yeah, let's get this shit started. Let's go. I've been waiting so long for this shit. Radio. Don't have a name for it. Don't have nothing. It is what it is.
This is you just jumping straight off the cliff and
Right.
into something.
Yeah, you know.
ADHD brain, just this is a new hobby. This is what I'm doing.
So I
This
said
is
to
what I
the
want to do.
So I said to the boys, I was like, what's the worst fucking case scenario? No cunt listens. I was just like, the only way you're going to get good at it is just, and I do this shit every day on front of Instagram, so
Yeah.
fuck it. All right, so obviously, people listening at home are going to know who I am. It's going to be my friends, family, and all that, people that follow me on socials. But obviously, I'm going to give Josh a bit of an intro. He doesn't need too much of an intro, but I'm going to give him one anyway. So, the big fella, 215 NRL games, 79 tries, I've did my homework, 365 points throughout his career. Obviously started at Canberra, was a bit of a bad boy, then went to St George, and then finished up at the Sharkies. Played for the Kangaroos and the Blues, which was a fucking pretty sick time to play for international and state, because obviously there's probably about 8 immortals that are going to be named in
And
that.
the rest.
And the rest, yeah. That's probably pretty fucking light. All right, so we're going to kick off a bit of footy stuff, and then we're going to some fishing and all the rest of it, and whatever tangents we tear off on.
Wherever our brains lead us.
Yeah, it's fucking inevitable. Righto, so to start off with, who was your favourite player you played with, and who was your most hated player that you played against on club level, origin level, and an international level? Give me the club level ones first.
Club level favourite player.
Club level favourite player. Start with the favourite.
There's a couple actually. Probably both. Two of them from my early days in Canberra, Alan Tongue and Joshy Miller.
Yeah, Tungy.
Tungy was just one of them guys that, you always wanted him on your team, and was kind of a player that did a lot in the game but didn't do a lot.
Yeah.
Never played rep. I think he played for country a couple of times and stuff like that, but he's just someone you knew what you were going to get out of every week. And he was such a good fella too, so it was always good sort of coming up with him there.
Tongue was centre or second row?
Back row, yeah.
He's gone like Croker.
Yeah.
Like almost identical, but just a bit smaller.
Yeah.
Just get consistency every single week.
Yeah, exactly. And then Josh Miller, just a legend of a bloke, country fella, and mad as a cut snake. I still remember playing fullback a couple of times and just watching him going straight at Marty Kennedy off the kickoff, who was like double his size when we were playing Broncos at Canberra Stadium, and just head first. Knocked him out, knocked Marty out, and then that was it. Marty was gone for the game. Joshy got up, got back on the defensive line after stumbling back, and just he would go close to doing one of those every week. He'd pick out the toughest bloke in the other team and just head first at him. And then obviously getting the Sharks, Andrew Fafita.
Yeah.
Me and him are still real close. He's like a brother, and we went through some stuff together on and off the field, and love him as a bloke.
Yeah, good stuff. What about origin level?
Origin.
Favourite and hated. Oh, wait, no, you didn't tell me you hated from club.
I hated from club. Nah.
Who's just the biggest pest? That one person you're just like, fuck this cunt. I hate person who just gets under your skin or just annoys.
Oh, I played with Michael Ennis and against him, and I still remember when I was at, I think it was at the Dragons, he was at Bulldogs, and I got up and played the ball, and he slapped me in the play the ball, and I'd just played 2 weeks ago with him in Origin. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, where's this come from? He's like, oh, fuck you, dudes, going off at me. I'm like, this little cunt here, fuck him. But anyway, so there was that. So he'd have to be one of the fucking biggest pests I ever played against. And then obviously playing against Queensland and that side, they had, that's when they had that 7-year run or whatever. We got one on them. But
that's a tough run.
They had literally 8 or 9 of them players were going into the Hall of Fame. Like, they had Darius Boyd there, they had GI, they had Hodges, Cronk, Smithy, Slater, Thurston. Petro was there, Webke was there, Matty Gillette was there as well.
One goes, another one takes his
Oh,
spot.
exactly. And like that whole team was pretty much, it it was just a freakish talent. But in saying that, like the blue sides we had, we never really got beat by too much either. Like they were always pretty close. It was always like a last minute try or something like that. And then in 14 we finally got it. And then in 15 we should have gone back to back.
That's what makes Origin so fucking good, though.
Yeah.
I think, is when it is close. Like,
Yeah.
no one likes any sport when it's a blown out
Oh,
game.
no,
Like,
100%.
even as a Queenslander, like, I fucking hate watching that shit. Like,
Yeah.
I'd almost rather lose by a bee's dick than win by a fucking shit ton, because it's just dog shit watch.
Yeah.
But it's fucking Origin coming around, actually. It's, what's it now? Dates?
I think they get picked this weekend, don't they?
I think it's after this weekend.
Yeah,
Everyone's fit and
Sunday.
healthy. Yeah, I can't wait.
And then for test level, GI. GI was my favourite player to play with. Just like the things he could do at the drop of a hat when he wanted. Like I think I told you this story the other day.
Freaking man.
How like we were in the UK for Four Nations and he'd just been cruising. I think he was carrying a couple of niggles or whatever, and he'd just been cruising all tawny. And then we played England in the semi-final to get in the final, and the English media started bagging him and poking the bear in the paper and all that. And then I've never seen a single player dominate a game so much just on his own back, just doing whatever he wanted whenever he wanted, carrying 5 blokes 10, 15 metres, scoring whenever he wanted, and yeah, just a freakish talent. But I was kind of blessed to play in that team. There was Slater, Dubs, Smithy, Cronk, Thursto, GI.
It was such a hectic time.
Yeah, it was just unreal to be able to play with those guys that I sort of grew up looking up to and that.
Well, you probably can't. You won't say who's your most disliked player because you're international level, because you played with him, I suppose. But who was probably the worst one to room with, you reckon, on the Kangaroo tours?
Nah, so my first tour, I roomed with Trent Merrin.
Did you get to play on that first tour?
Nah, sorry, Anzac Day 2013, that was my first Australian game.
Yeah.
And then 2015, I went on the Four Nations.
And is it the Emus?
Yeah, the Emus.
That's like the
But
up-and-comers.
yeah. So so the Emus get on the piss and carry on, and then so they get flogged. The day we have captain's run, they get absolutely flogged, and then they go out on the piss all night, and they rock up the next day to the team walk hungover and everything, and then we play that night, and then we all get on the piss. But it was good fun. I roomed with Meza my first test, and then.
Trent Merrin.
Yeah. And then I was with Willie Chambers.
Oh, yeah.
From then on, pretty much. We roomed together every tour.
Queensland and New South Wales.
Yeah, but Willie's
Willie's
an absolute legend, eh? Like, I played with him at the Sharks too, and like he's always someone you want to be playing with, not against, because he doesn't care. There's no bars hold with him. Like, he'll just say whatever comes to his brain, and like he'll just spit it out, and it's fucking hilarious. But no, we used to just sit there in the rooms and just punt on like horses and dogs and whatever, and it was good fun, bro.
Yeah, fuck yeah, I love that shit. All right, on to the next question. So, what did you want to do after your NRL career finished? Like, did you want to stay around footy, or did you need to get away from it and just have a break? Because like, some people want to get away from it and need that break, and other people just like it's all they ever know.
Yeah.
And like want to be involved with it in like either a coaching way or what. So.
Nah, I never wanted to go into media or anything like that. I'd always had my own run-ins with them and whatever else, but I also didn't want to be one of them ex-players that started bagging the boys for, bit of following and whatever else. Like, I think Denon Kemp does it the best, where he just says it how it is. Like, if it's facts, it's not feelings, that sort of thing. But then, you get some of them older boys, like older lads that used to play in the game, and now it's more just like a bit of clickbait more than anything. It's not, they don't actually feel that way or whatever. They're just saying it because they've been told to, or, spice things up a bit. But I've always sort of had the idea that, NRL players are people too, and they've got home lives, they've got everything. You never know what they're sort of going through. So I've always sort of had their backs in that aspect.
I suppose it's like, and people like Mick Ennis and Corey Parker that are in like that kind of Fox like sports now, where they like have moved away. Haven't been a player for a while now, so they tend to say some stuff now that's a bit like clickbaity.
Yeah.
And like, you probably wouldn't have said that when you were so close out of your career and stuff. But it's their job. They got to
and fair enough to them. That's their job, that sort of thing, and that's what they want to do. But for me, I didn't want to end up in that position where I'm being told to spice things up about a certain player or whatever else.
Yeah, probably because you've probably been in that spotlight a couple of times.
A couple.
Like, you had a break. And went back to some normal work, And then
when I first retired, I actually got into concreting for 18 months.
Concrete,
I loved it.
For the listeners,
the old grey gold, the grey gold, bruh. And it was probably the most fun I've had, doing anything. Because I was working with a couple of my good mates. Shout out to Shane and Steve and Matty.
Yeah.
Took me under their wing and taught me how to drive excavators and.
Give them a plug. Give their business. Who they work for.
I think he works for himself now, but I think he might have even moved on a bit. So,
right. Yeah.
But me and Steve are real close, and me and Matty as well. So, so was driving excavators, screeding, jackhammering, doing everything, and started in the residential stuff, and then got an offer to go work in the civil stuff and a bit more coin, but it was also a lot harder days, doing 14-hour days, and I remember some of the times we're doing 1,000 cube pours and. I just had to stand there on a vibrator for 10 hours, and then you get home that night, have a shower, and you feel like you got Parkinson's because you're just still shaking. And it was wild, eh? And then sometimes you'd have to do double shifts, so you'd wake up at 3 a.m. to go pour train weight and base slabs at Parramatta, and then you'd go home for a couple of hours, and you got a night pour that night. So.
What's it like going from being a full-time athlete where you get in, obviously get into the club and you do everything that's asked of you in there, but you get a fair bit of spare time as well.
Yeah, so you usually get like an hour, maybe sometimes 2, depending like what sort of session you got. They give you time to sort of cruise home if you want, or if you live locally, you can cruise home, or there's like rec rooms and stuff in most places. Yeah,
and kitchens and food.
But it ends up being a pretty normal day, like as a work day sort of thing. Like you get into training sort of 6:30, 7 in the morning. You don't usually leave till 3:30, 4 o'clock when your last session finishes after you showered and all that.
That's not happening when you're concreting though.
Nah.
That big change coming from being a freshman athlete going to
not really, because like when I was younger, before I'd actually started training full time, I was working with my old man as a brickies labourer, and then he went into carpentry, so I was doing some of that stuff as well. So I mean, as an athlete that got to the highest level and that sort of thing, you've kind of got that work ethic driven, and it's like in your blood. So like getting out into the real world wasn't that much of a difficulty for me. Like I just jumped straight into it, and probably one of the hardest jobs that you can do as well. And like wheelbarrowing 15 cube into an underground basement to lay the slab in there and stuff like that. But I loved it. It was hands-on, got to see the finished product, and I was working with good people. So, I really enjoyed it. And looking back on it now, even when I was doing the civil stuff, even though they were long, hard days, a lot of those tunnels and bridges that they've just built for the M8, like I was a part of it. So it's pretty cool to think about that.
You're one of them old diggers.
Yeah.
See, it's kid. I fucking built that.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So it's kind of like a bit of history there now. But when I first retired, I studied my counselling diploma. I got my counselling diploma while I was playing. I've got my youth and social works certificates and stuff like that. So I always kind of wanted to go into the youth work side of it.
You've done a bit of it too, eh?
I've done a bit of it, yeah. So I've done a fair bit. I worked at Trinity Bay here in Cairns for just over 12 months. And then obviously things didn't work out there, and I sort of wanted to – I still want to do a little bit of it, but I also got the chance to be able to do my dream job with Brody and – Tropic Barra Adventures now, and FNQ Fishing Adventures. So when I was playing, I always wanted to sort of see if I could start my own charter company or something like that. Like I looked right into it when I was in Sydney, and then I looked into it up in Queensland. I nearly moved to Airlie Beach to do it, and then I found out you got to go in survey and all that sort of thing, and pay for permits for the reef and the dam, and it kind of fell through. And then did my coxswains, and now I'm working for Brody.
And it's probably, there's not many better places in Australia / the world to be doing that, bro.
No.
That's why I moved up here. But I was based on kind of, you just moved me into like a couple of questions later, but we'll get back into that. I wanted to tell that story basically of how like me and you kind of met the first time that we met. And because obviously we both love fishing and just anything outdoors, just blokey shit, and heaps in common. Like we found out that we were a really similar fucking person in for most aspects and a few different aspects that probably let us be even better mates. That it's like not too overpowering, because if you're too alike, it's gonna be overpowering for people sometimes. But we just compliment each other in our weird like ADHD fucking tism brains, bro. Just work in like fucking conjunction. You know, there's those weird twins that
finish each other's sentences and shit.
Not that fucked up, but it's still to that degree it's funny. But get back to what I was saying before, is like I need footy when like leaving footy, and I didn't get to play at the level that you did. I was never gonna, but like I needed footy because it kept me out of trouble. Like I had 1 year off footy from the ages of 13 to 30. Basically, and that year was just the worst fucking year, man. Like I was in so much trouble, and just I lacked that routine. And it's not that I lack routine now; it's that routine for some reason just keeps me out of trouble. It keeps me around good people.
Yeah,
the young boys there keep me young, or I keep them young. The other ways, I'm probably my mental age, probably not my physical age, but
yeah, that's probably one thing that saved me as well. Is concreting was such a tough job that I didn't really feel like doing anything else.
Yeah,
when I first retired, I had probably 2 or 3 months off, and I just run amok. Doing dumb shit.
But that's
just
normal because it's
partying
the
and
rains
fucking
get loosened up.
100%. And like, I'd done all right for myself while I was playing footy too, so I wasn't like struggling financially or anything like that. And
just work because you wanna.
Yeah, I worked because, like you said, I got ADHD, and if I sit at home for too long, I start doing my own head in and going mad, and then that's when I get into no good and whatever else. I was just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna go work.
Yeah, right. So similar. So I told you today that I'd just bring us a couple of beers and stuff like that to wet the whistle and get the juices flowing and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get us a couple of beers, and anyone that knows
You said beers, you cunt.
anyone that knows Josh knows there's a bit of a
Pineapple.
a backstory behind these.
Where's the ladder for the roof?
these bad boys, but
how do we get on the roof?
I don't know.
Hang from the rafters.
I'll meet you at the bottom, George.
Cheers, bro.
Dead eat.
Oh yeah.
Dead eat. There's one to chill.
I don't want another one. They're day 2 stuff, bro.
There's one to... Oh, God. That's got me good.
Sour grape's the best flavour anyway.
Look, I had to go to two bolos to get those, by the way. I went one, she's like, I don't have them, I got guava, I got this. I was like, no, I need pineapple.
Who likes guava, bro?
Guava's good,
No,
bro.
it's not,
Yeah,
bro. No, it's not. Guava and raspberry are the worst.
Oh, that's it. Give me that.
Guava and raspberry are the worst.
Wednesday brews. Yeah. Oh, yeah, couldn't help yourself. Old
Might as
habits
well.
never die.
Can't have it in front of me. Not drink it.
For those people who don't really get the inside joke, just Google Josh Dugan
Rooftop.
But anyways, we'll move on. So now, playing a contact sport is pretty brutal. You know, like on the head, they've found out it's about equivalent to 7 minor car crashes, damage on the brain per game on average for an NRL player. What kind of injuries, what major injuries, you know you got heaps, but what injuries did you sustain over your career? And like, how's it affecting your body kind of like now? And how were you treated like in the NRL with those injuries? Like, I'm interested to know, and I'm sure a lot of people are at home as well.
I actually didn't have too many serious injuries, to be honest. I had a syndesmosis that I was supposed to have a band tightrope put on and all that sort of thing, but didn't end up doing it. So that's given me grief.
Syndesmosis at home for the people at home, by the way, is when your tibia and your fibia, so your shin bone, basically separate over your ankle, so it splits. And they need to tie it back together, basically.
And so they didn't do it. They ended up just doing a clean out, and that's been giving me grief for 15 years now, and it's just never going to get better. Should have had a tightrope, didn't get it, and now it's just arthritis, etc., all the rest of it. And then I had a shoulder reco. That was all good. The way it sort of went down wasn't, but I'll get back to that. And then I had a laminectomy, I think it's called, where I had 3 of my vertebrae and my neck shaved down.
That's probably the most hectic one, actually.
But to be honest, it was the shortest recovery. after surgery.
But still the most hectic for surgery. Like,
Yeah.
there's so
So
many things
when
that
I
happen.
first went in, I'd played for like 18 months with it. And
They were bulging and degenerative.
nah, so what they were doing was your nerves run through your vertebrae like that.
Yeah.
And then 3 of my vertebrae were crushing on the nerves. And I had cortisones under ultrasound and all the rest of it. That did nothing. And so for 18 months, I just kind of tried to get through it and play with it. And then every tackle that I'd make with my left shoulder, I'd get a burner.
What's a burner for the people at home? who don't know
So it's
footy?
where your nerves sort of just get a shock and then sends tingles all the way down your arm.
Goes numb, eh?
Yeah.
It's when you see those
And
players
then
doing the
you
finger
shake your arm out, whatever, and it usually comes good after a couple of minutes. But I was playing every game where I'd get at least 1 or 2 of them. And then by the end of it, before I had surgery, I'd lost feeling in my two like pointer and middle finger and my thumb. And every now and then I'd just get a shocking like nerve pain, like I'd stuck my finger in the power socket down to my elbow and it'd drop me.
For most people that haven't had a burn before, haven't played footy, it's like if you've ever been tased, it's like getting tased in the shoulder, and it like jolts you kind of thing, and runs all the way down your hand. You ever see footy players when they off like a big hit or anything, and they like shake their arm like that or like flick their fingers? They've most likely got a burner, and they're kind of just like trying to flick it out or like get the feeling and sensation back. It sucks. And they can come in like, severe and stuff like that, where it's just like a little tingle, or ones where your like full arm goes dead.
Yeah.
But also leading into those injuries, because I know like you did have a fair few injuries through your career, and like no footy player really gets.
It was more so when I was at Canberra.
It's because you put on a lot of weight.
I put on I debuted at 82 kilos. And then the very
That's me now, bro.
and then the very next year I was like 94, 96.
Holy fuck, that's so much weight.
Yeah. And I just don't think my body handled it. I was still doing the same amount of running and everything. I ended up with shin splints, and then just from then, and like back then too, the preseasons was ridiculous. So we're doing 5K running before we'd even touch a footy.
There's less science to it back then. It was like real mental break you down.
Yeah. So this is like 09, 2009, and we were
18 then.
18, 19. I turned 19, so I debuted at 18 and turned 19
Yeah,
that
because
year.
you're what, 3 years
I'm
old?
1990.
You're 3 years older than me. Yeah.
And then so that like my first full preseason after I debuted, they just had me in the gym eating everything, and I put on all that weight, and then I was still doing the same amount of running. And like I said, we'd do 5-6K of like just straight fitness before we'd even touch a footy.
It's too much too fast.
Yeah.
Like you gotta put weight on. And as an exercise sports scientist, by the way, for people that don't know that I deal with athletes, so I can have a reasonable opinion on this kind of stuff. I don't like putting weight on athletes too fast, because their body just, and especially their ligaments, they take the biggest load. So that's why you see so many ACLs and stuff like that done and whatnot, because the load they're taking is just like they're not used to that. They don't get as strong as muscles as quick. It's a lot slower period.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't like it when NRL teams take good players, like say, for instance, Benny Barr when he went to the Bronx, they put like 10 kilos on him. Turn into a nothing season.
Good,
if you're good enough, if you're
Milford
good enough, you're big
when he
enough.
was there as well.
Milford, yeah. Bronx have this like real style of player that they like to that go for, and if you don't fit that bill, they kind of just seem to move people on.
Yeah.
But like I've always been a big believer in, if you're good enough, you're big enough, and
100%.
you're old enough.
Well, like you look back in the day when I was sort of coming through. You had Hodgson from Tigers, you had Preston Campbell,
and all those guys are making a comeback. Those size guys,
yeah, they're all freaks, and like they were some of the best players on the field. Mind you, every now and then they got caught and ragdolled and whatever else. But when I debuted, like
I'll chuck that in the
I was like I was a skinny little runt. But I was still breaking tackles and whatever
you're
else.
You're a turbo type operator when you first
He's bigger than me, bro. He's bigger than me when I was at that age, 100%. They called me the hacksaw because I was like so thin and I just sliced through a gap. Seriously, they had a sign when I was at Canberra, Hacksaw Dugan. That's what it was. Yeah, the fans had nicknamed me Hacksaw.
I thought it was self-proclaimed, but it's obviously not. But leading to those injuries kind of thing, as my bit of a follow-up question, a lot of players and a lot of people take painkillers for injuries and stuff like that and whatnot. Did you ever have any like drama with painkillers? Like, because they can be hard to get off, man, especially when you have to be on them for a long time. And you were on them for a fair bit during your career to get through those last couple of years, eh?
Oh, no, not so much the last few years. It was sort of It was like it was just after my neck, and then I played with a fracture in my leg, like tib fib joint. I'd fractured that. I played with that for like 6 months, and every game it was just like killing me to the point where I'd end up limping by the end of it, and then so they ended up prescribing me painkillers and whatnot for that, and then that same year I ended up doing my shoulder, and I think that was 2016 maybe. No, 2018. Sorry, 2018.
I say 16. You know, that's 9 years ago now.
I was still at Dragons. No, this is when I was at Sharks. So I think it was 2018, my first year at Sharks, and I'd played most of the year with a fractured leg. Ended up missing time.
Did you know it was fractured?
No, I knew there was something not right with it.
Well,
but
you didn't get scans on it at all?
No, they didn't scan me. They just said it was like my tib fib joint. So I was strapping the joint, and then I was getting like Chinese medicine, like getting acupunctured and all this, like cupping and everything, and it was helping. But at the same time, because it's a broken bone, and I'm always running, like every day running, like it just never healed properly. And then I had 2 weeks of deload where I wasn't on my feet. I was just on like the bike and whatever else, and then tried to run first session back running. I like cracked it again, and then it was just I ended up missing like 4 or 5 weeks before it. Got back, and then subluxed my shoulder.
It feels like when you do one injury, you work
so hard on that one that the rest of your body gets neglected, and then everything else starts getting
injured
fucked up.
Yeah, that's it, man. And
you see it so often. Like someone comes back with a right ham in and they do their left quad or something like that.
Yeah, just something. Like as you said, you're so focused on getting that better. But now, like, obviously,
in saying that, like the biggest thing that I learned out of that was if I've got an injury or something on my right side, I do the exact same like thing on my left side.
That's what I just
do everything. Like if I've got a sore right shoulder and I'm doing TheraBand stuff, I do the exact same exercise on the left side, so it stays reasonably even.
I tell my athletes, and I've always said it from such a young age, and I've done both my hammies, I've done them 8 times total, so 4 times each, and that's like tears, not strains or anything like that. I always tell my athletes, what you do to one, you must do to the other.
Yeah.
It has to be to create perfect symmetry and strength in both and get them reasonably the same.
Otherwise, you're compensating and loading on one side or the other.
Exactly, and as I said, if you're so focused on your legs, it doesn't mean you like got to stop doing your rehab on your upper body. So if you've had a shoulder injury and recently had a leg injury, you still got to do your rehab and all your exercise for your upper body, because it's something that you have to then do for the rest of your career. Yeah. It's like hammies. So like you've got to take care of those for the rest of your career, otherwise they'll plague you.
After that too, I started seeing an osteo, and I'd get like realigned every couple of weeks and whatever, and like there'd be times where my right calf would be tight, and he'd be like, "It's because your left hip is out."
Yeah,
like everything's aligned in some way, shape, or form. Down to it, and then so like he'd just make sure that like I'd always be in alignment, and that helped massively.
Well, what the pain usually is and even people at home too, not just athletes, it's not usually what's in pain that's the drama. It's usually something else that's pulling on something else. That's just a chain reaction.
Exactly.
Like that.
Yeah.
And if most athletes will know that as well. We'll move on to the next question, but what made you, after you finished your career, what made you want to move to Cairns when you lived in Sydney? Like, what was the big thing that when you moved?
Biggest thing for me is I hate Sydney. Like I grew up hunting and fishing and camping in Canberra, down south of Canberra, Yukonbean, Jindabyne, Tumut, all that sort of stuff.
You grew up in Canberra.
Yeah, like south side of Canberra, so it was an hour down to Cooma and Lake Yukonbean. Yeah. And being in Sydney, just I don't really like a lot of people, and
especially the kind of people down there. Sydney's fuckwits.
Yeah, like I just think like when you grow up in like a country sort of atmosphere, you'd see it here too. Like in Cairns, like you walk down the street, you can say good day to any single person, and they'll say hello back to you.
Yeah.
You walk through Sydney, in the city especially, like looking the way that I look, head to toe tattoos, whatever, and they just stick your nose up at you, and everything's a competition down there. Like, who's got the best car, who's got the biggest house, like, no, fuck that. Like, at the end of the day, we're all going to end up in the dirt, so, who cares? And that's one thing I carried myself through my whole career, was I always gave everyone the time of day if they were respectful. And just being in Sydney, it was just a concrete jungle. I didn't like the atmosphere that was there, and I just wanted to change. And like I said, I nearly moved to Airlie, take on a boat hire and charter business, and that fell through. And then got a phone call to come up here and play footy, and that's that. Won't be going anywhere now.
Yeah, for those who don't know, Josh plays for probably our biggest rivals. I'm retired now, and I coach for Brothers, and he plays for the Hose, Ivanhoe. So whenever we play, we don't even talk that much footy outside, really, do we? Like, for some people that have been pretty much in football our whole lives, we really don't talk that much footy. The best part about watching footy is probably just the beers that we sink when we watch footy. But that's why I moved up here, man, too. Like, I just told Mum one day, Mum, I'm going to Cairns. And I had like a year left of uni, and I just literally packed up my shit, sold most of my stuff, and just moved up here.
Yeah.
And how relaxed it was up here. Like, even down in Brisbane, I probably know it's not as bad as Sydney, but people just fucking are so entitled and just whingy cunts, man. I fucking find it so hard to deal with that shit. Up here, everyone's like so laid back.
Yeah.
Like, just the shit that some people do, and you know they're like Cairns locals for their whole life, just the way they do shit.
Yeah.
And you go out on a night on a town, there's not as many fucking dickheads. Like, everyone's here for fun, because everyone comes here to travel.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, you don't see that many dickheads. There's not that many fights when you go out, and everyone's just there for a good time.
Yeah.
Shout out to Gillies.
Piva.
And Piva, yeah. But I love it up here. If I don't stay here in the future, I'll definitely be coming back here to live, because one, it's one of the best fisheries in the world, or at least north and south of it is. But I just love it here, man. But also, now that like your career's all done and dusted, you're just up here enjoying the fruits of life, where in God's country, the FNQ, that we both basically came up here to do, not even knowing each other at the time when we did it. And now you're running fishing charters for Brody from Tropic Barra Adventures in your spare time. Obviously, me and you are just fucking fishing, spear fishing, bow hunting, and just doing whatever blokey shit we can do.
Oh, 100%.
Chat, maybe, like, compared to how much we probably used to party back in the day, we haven't even bended that much together, to be honest.
Nah, there's been a few.
I can't.
Cook-off's the best time of year.
the cook-off, and it's coming up. It's coming up. That leads me right into my
Still
question.
5 months away.
I didn't even.
But
is it?
Counting down.
What is it now?
It's only like mid-May.
June, July, October. Yeah, shit. Lass is going to be blowing my phone.
Oh,
like it's next week.
3 months out.
Yeah, Lass, by the way, shout out to Lass. He just got another shout out on a footy podcast. He's one of our mates. He's fucking one of the best blokes you'll ever meet in your life. Give you a shirt off his back, and he rings you 7 times a week.
Yeah. he doesn't like texting, so he calls you, and then me and you are the opposite. We're like, fucking don't call me, just text me, bro.
Fucking hell. You could have just told me that over a text, and you could have summarised it. All right, now move on to the next thing, bro. So, now, tell us how you got into fishing and hunting. Like, did your dad get you into it when you were young, or like did you pick it up when you were a bit older? Because I picked it up when I was a bit older. My dad didn't get me into that stuff. So
yeah, so I grew up, as I said, fishing, hunting, and camping down Lake Yukonbean, which is about an hour from Canberra. My old man used to be a pro roo shooter and stuff like that with one of his other mates, Rick. And I used to just go with them, and they used to get me to open the gates and whatnot, and all the rest of it. And then
every kid's fucking rite of passage.
Yeah, 100%. Until one night there was like probably a 1.5 ton bull in the paddock, and they didn't tell me, and I absolutely shit myself, and then didn't get out of the car again. But it was always good fun. Just learning that sort of way of it, and we used to hunt rabbits and foxes and roos, and then every now and then we'd get a phone call from a property owner about wombats chewing up his fields and stuffing up the cattle's legs and his crop dust and plane and all that sort of stuff, so we'd have to shoot a few wombats.
Can't kill wombats. I have to edit that out. Pretty sure they're protected species.
No, they're not. Not on private property.
No animals are harmed in this instance.
Georgie, hope you're listening.
Georgie Purcell, you're coming up later too, bitch. Yeah, I wish my dad got me into that stuff when I was young, bruh. Fuck, my dad worked so hard, and we, like, for our time, we just go camping and shit like that. But I wish he got me into it early, man. Like, I mean, there's no time to start like that now, and I just got into it when I moved up here. I just wanted to do anything that got me outside and just like harvested my own food, because I love that shit. Like, there's something about it, and you'd know, like, when you harvest your own food, there's something so fucking primal about it.
Well, like, even just the other week when them floods were going through Townsville and the groceries and that couldn't get up here.
Man, you were stuck with fish and
stuck
venison.
with, our own fish and venison from when we went down south. And, I had a whole backstrap for a feed because there was no meat in the shop. So it's like, it's a way of living that saves you money, one, and two, that, you can be sustainable with it.
I love being a bit more self-sustainable. There's something good about providing, bro, and it's a manly thing.
It's a man's way of like being the protector, the gatherer, all that sort of thing, and like providing. So, as any male usually would feel, like if you're providing something for your family or your friends and close people, then you get that dopamine hit of doing something right.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that, and people at home that don't get to live the luxuries that we do by doing this kind of stuff may not understand, but they might want to do it. They just kind of don't have the means to. But man, there's something about it. It's like it fucking makes you feel so good.
Yeah,
and like the thrill of the hunt, hunting is just like fishing is just another form of hunting, really. And I didn't get into spearfishing until probably like maybe 2 years ago when I met Shane.
Yeah.
And obviously me, you and Shane do, I should say you, Shane and I, someone's going to pick that apart. We do it together and stuff. We don't do too much without him, but he's been so good with us, like teaching us
100%.
so much stuff. Like Spiro.
He's a guru for like spearfishing and that sort of thing.
Shout out to Shane at Spiro.
Being able to go with him and just see the way he does everything, it's unreal.
And he's so much like us.
Yeah.
Like, bro, just ADHD doesn't stop.
Yeah.
He's a retired Navy lad, and he just builds his own spear guns. So Shane at Spiro Life, go check him out if you haven't already. He makes some insane guns, man.
Yeah, I've got one, and it's the best thing I've ever used.
So good. And they're sexy.
Yeah, they're
nice.
good looking.
And
he takes a lot of time on them too. Like it's a quality product. Like he doesn't just spit them out for the sake of it. No. He takes on like commission work basically, where he only does it for people that he wants to do it for. And
and he honestly does not charge anything close to what he should charge.
No,
for
100%.
How long it takes him to make that, man.
Yeah,
it's fucking wild. Shout out to Shano. He's a fucking good lad. One of our good mates. All right, moving on to that next thing. So, now that you're working with Brody at Tropic Barra Adventures, and you use LiveScope so much, what's your opinion on LiveScope, bro? Because there's a lot of people out there that it's like, fuck, it's a video game. It takes a skill out of fishing. And like my opinion is, mate, when you're out there, you want to catch fucking fish. If someone's going to help you catch fish, then whoop-de fucking do.
Yeah.
Like, I swear it's only the old dudes.
Yeah, when I first got into it, I sort of wasn't like a real fan of it, just because like I thought it was like cheating. But then like you look on it as like another example is like we don't catch anything on the hooks and like whatever when we're fishing on the rods. We jump in with the straight hooks and go spearfish. It's like it's no different really. You're going looking for them. And it's just another way to do it. And I mean, if you can afford it, why not? Like, it's still so fun.
I swear it's the poorest.
And the only reason why I sort of didn't like it was because I didn't have one. I'd never done it before, and I was just like, oh, that can't be fun. Like, just you see them on the screen and you just like whatever, and then
I don't let change.
And then now we do it. We take people up and like we're catching meter 30 barra.
You're pumping
of a night time.
How many?
We've caught over 70 this year.
70 this year.
70 metres this year, and I think we've got 9 or 10 over 120.
Pumping numbers.
So there's like 70 fish, and 10 of those are over 120, with the biggest going 132, and that thing was probably a 30 kilo fish. That thing was a horse.
Fucking big fish. I've seen the photos of it. It's a massive fish. Well, all right. So you're doing a lot of stuff up in the dam. What do you prefer when you're chartering? Chartering and putting people on a good barra, or going out to the shelf, getting to the reef and putting on a good reef fish? What do you like doing yourself, and what do you like chartering? Two different things. I
love my offshore chartering just because I love the reef and being out there, and that's kind of my jam. Like
one of the best places.
It's kind of my jam too. Like I've only really the last few years. So I've done a bit of fishing in dams and stuff like Peter Faust and that when I was going up early a lot because I got a few good mates there as well, and I did a fair bit of stuff down there. Never with the LiveScope, whatever, but I've always loved the offshore side of it. And even like me and you will just sit there and we'll just look at the maps and find a bit of ground that we like, or we'll just go sound and we'll find a little rock, drop down and get a 95 centimetre dino trout, like doing that sort of shit.
You don't land because of sharks.
I landed it.
True story.
I landed it.
On the right. I thought you were about spearing. Sorry,
no. But
so like into that, we had to protect ourselves from sharks.
Yeah, that was wild. But Yeah, so like being able to do that and go find my own marks and whatever else. Like the first year I moved up here, I spent the first 12 months just literally finding marks and doing my own sort of recon mission and stuff like that. And then
So we don't realise the hours you got to put in, eh?
you could do it your whole life and never cover all the ground. Like there's so many reefs and like little rocks and all that sort of stuff. But now that I've got the live scoping and the dam sort of down pat, I love the dam, mate. Like catching a metre plus barra every night that we go up there. It's just, there's something about it. It's so much fun. And like, it never gets old. Fish. It never gets old. Like you can literally target them and you just chase them down and annoy them enough to the point where they eat.
I love that so much. And look, there's probably not a heap of old diggers that are going to be listening to this potty, but a lot of the young lads are getting into it. And I swear, and I don't care, I'm going to say whatever the fuck I want to say on this shit, it's my potty, so if you don't like, fuck off, but I swear it's always the poorest cunts that can't afford shit that whinge about stuff like that. It's like...
Or like, people set in their ways.
Well, yeah, and that's mostly old fucking diggers too, but it's like, can't just fucking buy it, bro. It's like, it sounds stupid to just not be able to buy something that's going to allow you to have more fun. Yeah. Because at the end of the day...
Honestly, like, if we didn't have that, we're not catching the quality of fish or the quantity of fish.
100%.
You know, like...
And as a charter,
every night we're up there, we pretty much guarantee we're getting at least one over a metre. And every single night.
You know as well as I do, fishing, you can't really guarantee shit. But with that, it's about
you've got it. Yeah, it's like a 9 out of 10 times you're going to get a fish. Like, I'll back it. That 9 out of 10 times we're up there, we're getting a metre.
And
metre plus fish.
Them some good odds. I like me some odds.
Yeah.
All right, so out of fishing, spear fishing, bow hunting, and rifle hunting, what's your most favourite and why? That's a hard one. Because we just do them all.
We do them all, but...
Depends what...
If I had my choice, I'd say fishing first, because... If it's good enough weather, you're going to take your spear gear anyway, so you're doing both. You're fishing and spear fishing. But I do love like being out bush and you know. So I don't know. I don't really have a favourite. But if the weather's grouse, we're going fishing and spear fishing.
3 birds, 1 stick kind of situation.
Yeah, and then maybe go to an island where there's goats and shoot them with the bow. So you might get 3.
Bloody oath. So we love that shit, and obviously for the people that are following, especially for these first couple of episode, just going to be people that follow you and me on socials, bro. So that they know what we do. We love that shit. Anything outdoors, fishing, spearing, bow hunting, and just the rest of it. All right. So obviously we do most of what we do is fishing, and that's how we basically met. The first time me and Joshy met was like we were talking. We actually meant to go on a mate Dennis's boat up to Lizard Island, and shout out to Den.
Don't forget Falcon. Falcon's the one that told me to just message her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I was actually going to wear their kit today.
Yeah.
I should have wore their kit. Sorry, boys. I'll do that for the next potty.
I don't know, bro. Just fucking message him.
And we went to go on the trip with Dennis. And there's like 4 of us, Dennis, Jet, Dukes and I. And I was like, fuck, that's too many cunts on one boat, bro.
Yeah, and he has no T-top, mad cunt.
And he has no shade, bro. For those that don't know, Dennis is just...
Jet's got the
Dennis
fucking...
holds the world record for, like, biggest, like, was it
yellowfin
and yellowfin or something?
Nah, he's got biggest yellowfin off the rocks.
Biggest yellowfin off the rocks on spin gear, and I'm pretty sure he beat his own world record at some stage. Yeah. Anyways, he's a mad cunt, and his elbows are so fucked from just years of casting. Because when you're on the rocks, it's just thousands of casting.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're going to be on Dennis's boat, no shade, because he's like, I don't shade because I fucking get my lures caught. But I'm just going to get fucking sun cancer.
No, well, Jet's got that already, I reckon.
Oh, fuck, he's going to turn Voldemort that cunt. I have to cut his nose off, bruh. It's fucking... if I had a photo of what Jet's nose looked like after our fishing comp one day, it looked like, fuck, it was blistering.
It looked like the colour of the pineapple cruiser coming off the tip of his nose.
It looked nuclear, I'm dead set. But me and Josh ended up, we messaged each other and we're like, let's take your boat up, and Dennis can take his. We'll take 2 boats up because it's safer. Because if you've ever been to Lizard Island, or if you drive there, it's out there, man. Like no one's coming in to help you.
2.5 hours from Cooktown, and then we drove an extra hour and a half
to
Starkey River, and went out the mouth north there, which is like it's about it's 2 hours dirt road and crossing creeks and shit like that, and then you get to the river, the boat ramp, and then the river mouth's right there. But it's literally half the time to get to the island.
And we'd never met each other at this time either. So we did this fucking road trip up there, We drove all the way out there. We launched too late, and we got stuck in the river mouth, so we had to wait for the tide to come up, and we were just flicking lures at this mouth of this river, and just no wind, hot as fuck.
Oh, bro, we were cooked. I sank about 12 beers while we were waiting, and then fucking the weather turned on us on the way out, blowing probably 20 knots.
Just slapping, bro.
Slamming us while I'm half charged trying to get across to the island.
Proper, bro. Absolutely. And when we got there, and if you've ever been to Lizard Island, it's one of the most beautiful places in the world once you're there. But it was my birthday as well, which made it even sicker. A bit of a special moment. We got to share it with some pretty cool people, catch some sick fish. I found a mark, and Josh dropped and got his 95 centimetre blue spot trout, which is I might chuck up in
20 metres of water.
In 20 metres of water, just a little spot I found. And it's so sick putting someone onto good fish. Like, not that it's too hard up there because there's so much ground. And we found some pretty awesome marks on more trips as well. But after that trip was kind of like said and done, as we were driving out, we're like, fuck, man, if we can put up with each other on 5 days on the boat in a confined space, probably going to be half decent, mate, because it's so easy to get fed up with something.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You just start getting on each other's nerves and that. But then even New Zealand, we're over there for 16 days and not a single time. We're just like...
If we need our time alone too...
Yeah, you just go lay in the room and kick back, whatever. We don't... Yeah. Take the piss out of each other every day, and it's just a fucking laugh.
Yeah, 100%. And that's... Bro, we don't take life too seriously. But there was the funniest thing... on that trip, we came back and we were on the way back and it started raining, and Josh's boat trailer's pretty heavy, so he's took this burn, this little dip, and it's wet as... I
followed someone's tracks, so I should have just stayed on the tracks.
And he kind of, instead of accelerating straight through it, he's slowed down, and it got bogged, and the trailer and the car, the tow ball were down like that, so we couldn't jack the tow ball off to drive out, to do anything, whatever. So I had to walk, and Josh was like, yeah, go walk back. It's like 2 Ks. So I was like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. There was a pro crabbo who was the most Aussiest ocker bloke you've ever seen.
Yeah, walking around in his budgies.
Life, just it was they were
tidy whities.
The stubbies.
Tidy whities.
Yeah. And his wife beater singlet, stubbies, plug is the most Aussie shit you've ever seen in your life. And I walked back, I was like, yeah, it's 2K. In my head, it's 2K. I'll get that back there quick as. Bro, it was 8K in the blistering heat of summer at Starkey River, and that's past Cooktown. So I was fried, bro. Red as a lobster.
Radio wasn't working. Fucking winch wasn't working.
Nothing was working. We could not get this boat off the tow ball. So I walked back, got this guy, and I'm going, hey, trying to yell out because he's in this floating fucking house on the river, and he comes I just sit there. He wasn't coming out. I'm like, fuck, man, this guy's gone out. I'm gonna have to wait. And he comes out, and he's 10 minutes later, I'm sitting under this tree, because I'm like, fuck, I'm not walking back until I'm cooled down, because I was overheating so fierce. And he comes out, he's like, what? Are you all good, mate? He's like, fucking, nah, we bogged, mate, can you fucking tow out? He comes over, and he's like, what's wrong? I was like, I need to tow out, bro, you're the only person. He's like, you guys are fucking lucky, because it was Tuesday, and he goes, there's no one coming up here Saturday but me. So if I wasn't here, you guys would be fucked. And I was like, oh, thank fuck for that. So he gets in the car, drives us back, and he's like, just looks at it, and he takes one look.
He's got a dirty little old 80s Hilux.
Yeah, just a proper
flat
two-door, it was a two-wheel drive, eh? It wasn't even four-wheel drive. And he's like, looks at it, he's like, it's fucked. And we're like, fuck's sake, because we're running low. We had no water left. We were at the end of the trip. And no food, we'd pump through our food, and we're like,
mind you, I sat there trying to dig the car out for fucking 3 hours
Both
first.
of us, sticks in hands on this red clay dirt, trying to dig out, man, we were covered, bro, and hands, nails was fucked from just scraping, and yeah, we tried, don't you worry about that, I didn't walk back straight away, and I get back from this guy, it pulls up, and Josh is just fucking sleeping in the fucking...
I had a snooze, but I woke up. I had a snooze. And, I was fucked from digging holes.
Was it your rope or his rope?
It was mine. It was an old skiing rope. And he's like, this isn't going to fucking work. I said, mate, just double it up. It'll be right.
No, we doubled up twice. So it was 4 strands.
Yeah, I'm like, just double it up. It'll be right. And then fucking straight away, bro, I go, you just fucking floor it and I'll floor it. And I just felt the whole car just shift forward. I was like, I'm out. Boom, just fucking floored it, bro.
It was one of those.
We got home fucking 8 hours after we were supposed to, and fucking no service out on Starkey Road either. So we had to fucking wait till we got into Cooktown. Everyone was panicking that we should have already been home and in service, and it was just it was fucked.
Yeah, girlfriends are fucking.
Both our girlfriends are fucking worry warts too. So it's like fuck.
But it was that relief when it come out of the mud.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
we couldn't get it off, so we couldn't just drive your car away, come back and get it another day. Like the car was fucking there.
Yeah.
The boat was there. It wasn't moving nowhere. So we learned some valuable lessons in taking that Starkey River Road. Not for the faint-hearted. But all right. So on to this next thing because we could just go off on tangent on this for age. We've got 10 minutes left. Killing it here. The cook-off. If anyone doesn't know, for those who don't know, it's my invitational fishing comp. I started about 4 years ago. We started in Cooktown for our first year. Obviously, my tackle company's First Fleet Fishing, and Captain Cook, obviously, was the captain of the First Fleet, mate, El Capitano. And so what place better to have it than Cooktown, I thought. But it's a little bit far for a lot of lads that come down from Brisbane and Airlie Beach and stuff, so I wanted to make it more central. So this is the 4th year running, and we're having it in Mission Beach. And I kind of just try and it's a pretty tame comp. Like not much goes on. Like it's not much drinking or anything like that. And I try to invite lads that like love their fishing, but if you can party, it's probably not the place for you. Really, it's pretty tame.
And if you're a shit bloke,
we're in bed pretty early most nights. But I absolutely am just looking forward to it. I'm probably not looking forward to it as much as Lass. Lass probably looking forward to it.
I reckon he's
more than
already
Kid at
buying
Christmas.
gear for it. Fishing gear. Fishing gear. Fishing gear.
Fishing gear.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bit of a no drinking policy, and they're not a very rowdy bunch. But if you ever hear about us, it's probably not your cup of tea. As I said, this year's going to be the 4th annual year of it. I'm so keen, man. It's going to be bigger and better this year. I'm trying to go for bigger sponsors, so there's bigger prizes for the lads. Hopefully we can get a spearing category in there again as well.
So Shano can win it.
So Shano, we need some more people in it because Shano just is fucking going to take it out. So
But Shano's not. He likes drinking in the afternoons. Like if he's on the water, he doesn't usually drink. Whereas
it's hard to
when
steer
we're out there fishing, we're just
over.
straight on the fucking beer. 6 a.m. we're driving out, we're straight on the beer. So it's like, I'm not going spearing half pissed.
I know.
It's just asking for trouble.
Yeah. Like, what was your favourite? I know it was your first year last year. What was your favourite part of your first cook-off, apart from that you still owe me $400 worth of jigs?
My favourite part.
Taz, bro.
Probably just fucking pretty much bagging out on trout and Lass getting that fucking comp winner.
How many reds did Willie P drop, he reckons?
He dropped 3 reds.
Never sees them. That was a fucking red. That was a fucking...
when you fish enough, you know what sort of fish they are. If they hit you 1 or 2 jigs off the bottom and they go straight back down, they're usually a good fish. And that happens so many times, bro. Just unstoppable. I got bricked.
I swear Willie P, every fish he drops, there's a red. There's a red.
Old Willie T, he just throws out that call, I reckon. But he dropped 1 at the boat and he caught another one.
Yeah.
We got a real small one,
we were doing
probably
it tough.
just legal.
We were doing it tough last year, and we were on a spot I knew looked so
Yeah.
ready, bro. And I was like, man, this is good. We weren't catching fuck all on jigs on the second day. The tides were getting smaller. Where as soon as we dropped 3 baits, triple hookups, reds.
Yeah.
Like, so everything has its place. I do run a lure, basically, lure-only tackle company. But everything has its place, man. Like, if it's ain't
Just put a bit of squid on the jig.
We're in the business of catching here. I'm fucking just sitting there
Bit of
fishing.
squid on the jig.
It's a bit of a spicy jig. We do a YouTube special, they call it. Righto, one more thing on this category. Now, for something completely different, Georgie Purcell, she's come under a bit of fire and scrutiny on my social media and a few other hunters' social media. She's obviously, for those who don't know, she's a Victorian politician, an ex-stripper vegan turned politician in Victoria, and she's trying to ban bow hunting. Unsuccessfully, I might add. I don't understand how these people that haven't lived our life try and get our way of life change.
Yeah.
Because they don't like it. They've never lived it. It's fucking beyond me. I don't try and change the way you fucking live.
All you have to do is...
Just because you want to eat fucking vegetables, bro, eat your fucking vegetables. Don't shove it down, push it down my throat. I don't give a fuck, but just shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like look at the New South Wales Fisheries Minister that put the ban on the blue groper. She couldn't identify it.
She's a fucking retard.
Like, that's what I mean. Idiot. Like, you got all these people in the politics and whatever and in higher ups, but they've got no fucking idea what they're talking about, or even they're talking about the population of the fish and that sort of thing, and that was from 15 years ago.
The Spanish thing.
Yeah.
Is that about to get reversed, by the way? I've seen something come up about that. Surely it has to.
Yeah, I think maybe, yeah.
Because genuine research has gone out to
Yeah.
people that actually, they go out with the people that fish for them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's like sharks. Like, the research I did for the sharks was
It's
they were
crazy.
dropping dead pillies and shit
Yeah.
off for sharks. Bruh, sharks don't eat fucking dead pillies. They're eating shit that is, like, setting off commotion in the water. Like, and we know because we're on the water so much.
Yeah.
Bro,
They're ridiculous. They're so out of control.
Crazy. I did the least amount of fishing. We did the least amount of fishing this year that I've done since I moved here because the sharks are so out of control. We just lose so much money's worth of gear.
So much gear, so much fish.
Good fish. And it's
even the ones you release are getting smoked on the way back down.
that's why you don't release much because I think it's like a 95% mortality rate for fish.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Over 30 metres.
Yeah, it's apart from reds, they're the only ones that don't because their swim bladder is just different to most fish. But it's fucking absurd, man. And like bow hunting and just like hunting in general, it's such a primal thing.
But the thing is too, it's not like we're going out hunting roos and whatever with bows. It's like pigs and deer and all introduced species.
She's going after the people that are doing the bad shit, and I get that.
Yeah,
And maybe
but there's going to be bad in every sort of like hobby or whatever. Like there's going to be people that are shooting undersized fish and whatever in the spearing. Exactly. Yeah. It's just that, hopefully that the good outweighs the bad in a lot of those communities.
Yeah, it's killing me, bro. Like, as I said before, it's such a, for those who haven't done it, it's such a primal thing to be able to provide for your family. And like, man, just my favorite part's not so much even killing the animal; it's the stalk, especially in bow hunting. Like when your
heart's pumping,
bro. When you've had to spend an hour getting into an animal, and all you hear in your ears just, and it's so loud, bro, that it's in your ear, and like you got the shakes, and afterwards, like your hands are shaking. It is the most fucking exhilarating,
full adrenaline dump.
100%, bro. You even like afterwards, you kind of like, it's almost a bit of a come down too because of how hard that adrenaline dump is, man.
But also, it's more about getting back to, like our primal sort of selves is being out bush, away from service, away from all the concrete and cars and fucking all that sort of shit.
I'm on my phone so much too. I love getting away from that shit. Yeah. So do you. I know you do.
100%.
It's like, but for that first hour you're out there too, like you're checking your phone, you're out of service, you're like, fuck, I don't remember.
When I know I'm out of service, because I kind of grew up doing all that, like when I know I'm out of service, I don't even bother with my phone. I just leave it. Unless I'm taking videos or whatever or playing music.
That's the only reason that sucks our juices when you're taking videos, bro. You're a prick, and this has stuck with me too, because fucking about 3 weeks ago, for our Mad Monday, we both went as Freddie Mercury, and I had black hair, and it made my hair look real thin, and you're like, yeah, you're 2 haircuts away, bro. And I was like, this cunt, 2 haircuts away?
That's why he's growing his hair now. That's why he's letting it grow.
Nah, bro. I know I'm starting to thin up here a little bit, so I've been doing a bit of research, bro, on these DHT blockers, which are like just medication for those who don't know. Look, I'm not fucking bald just yet, but I'm like, I'm getting a bit fucking thinner in the sides here, and I don't like that shit. I want my hair for at least another fucking
5 years at least.
Fuck 5 years, bro. 15. 5. Fuck, bro. This melon's too big to be fucking Devon, bro. I'm telling you. But like DHT blockers basically stop your hair, but there's a few. There's like finasteride and like dutastride and stuff, and I'm just been sussing out, doing my research as a scientific man myself. I like to do my research on things, but a lot of people, it's been mixed opinions, bro. And one of those things is fucking ED, erectile dysfunction, if you don't know. And like, at what point is the trade off? Like, what's the trade off of dick working ability to hair ratio? Like, where
just a bit of chrome dome, you'll be right, bro.
At the end of the day, I want my old fella to do some darnish, and it's like, but like, I want the hair. It's like, fucking, I have a bit of both. But I've had people that have messaged me going, no, I'm fine. I haven't had any fucking ED dramas at all. But I've had other people go, yeah, I had it bad. And I'm like, oh, well,
just go to Turkey, bro.
No, I'm not getting hair transplants, bro. I'm getting hair transplants.
Just go to Turkey, bro. No ED there.
No, whatever's left here, bro. I'm just gonna roll with it. If one day I've got to go Devon and just fucking Devon. If one day I just got to go straight Devon and I'll just leave a bit of party at the back. Everyone just knows I'm gonna be business at the front, party at the back. They know what I'm in for. But I don't know. There's got to be a trade-off ratio. I've got to be like, how much hair can I have, and how good can my dick work, and I've got to just figure out what is more important to me. But probably dick. Yeah.
Flights to Turkey are pretty cheap, bro.
Flights to Turkey are cheap. Fucking the procedure ain't, bruh.
Cheaper in Turkey than anywhere
I don't
else.
even need much. I just need these corners done here.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Nah, I'm gonna fucking give this.
Or just go bald, and then my mate
Shout out to
Jay will like do tattoos on your head for you.
Shout out to Pilot, by the way. If you want to sponsor me.
For the ED and the hair.
Oh, they're covering markets, those smart cunts.
They've
bro.
got everything, bro.
Oh, that makes so much sense. They've got the hair, and your dick done work. They've got your hair too, bro. And you fucking cheeky little bastard. It's like a person owning a fucking car dealership and the insurance for the fucking car dealership at the same time. They've got the market covered. But all right, so we're gonna wrap this up. We've got 2 minutes, bro. I have absolutely fucking nailed this. So rightio, this is it for episode 1, and I think it's a pretty good kickoff, pretty good start, bro. We got that shit rolling. I hope you guys enjoyed it at home. We had some good fun in here doing it, and if you did like it, subscribe up on YouTube, wherever I put this. If you're feeling frisky, give it a share. Until next time, guys, episode 2. Catch us. Let's go. That was sick.